but it takes none of the luster off tonight's matchup with another Hoya, Patrick Ewing. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Garden, where the Knicks continue their 5-game homestand with this Game 3. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, tonight's opponent, have had no trouble at the gate. 161 straight sellouts. Now they're finally doing it on the court as well. They've had to lose a lot of games to get where they are, but they are arriving. But they'll have to do at Madison Square Garden tonight perhaps what no other team has done in 9 tries here, and that is break 100 points. We're talking defense. We're talking the benchmark of holding teams under 100 points. Only 3 teams in the NBA are doing it. Among them, the Knicks are first. 6 points better than the next team, Houston. But the opponent on Tuesday night...
Very happy for any of my Hoya friends and teammates to succeed in this league, or in everything.
While Ewing and Mutombo are now competitors in the NBA, it's easy to see that their relationship, which was cultivated at Georgetown, continues to grow.
I love him. I see him as my brother, you know. I go to see him with his wife, with his daughter, and I play with their kids. And I like him a lot. He come to see me, you know. We're really good friends.
In some respects, we're close as brothers, you know. I kid him because he's from Africa. He kids me because I'm from Jamaica. It's fun. It's fun being around him.
Now it's Mourning's turn to take center stage and challenge the other former Hoyas. And from all early season indications, he's ready. Transition to the pros, forget about it. Mourning is averaging 17 points and 8.5 rebounds per contest. He's also shown a remarkable feel for the professional game, while opponents are feeling his power at both ends of the floor. Rather than accept praise, Mourning prefers to credit Ewing for his success.
I owe a great deal to Patrick, you know, because he kind of like took me under his wing, me coming in my freshman year, you know, and helped me out a great deal. And throughout my college years, I always thought to myself, you know, hey, if I could do this and I could do those things during the summer against Patrick, you know, who's the premier center, or one of the premier centers in the NBA, you know, I could play against anybody on this earth.
Mourning has spent much of his early professional career above the earth, or should I say, above the rim. He's doing what comes naturally, blocking shots.
You're dealing with world-class athletes here on this level, and it's very difficult to try to block everything, you know. So I try to establish myself as a defensive presence and trying to keep myself in the back of the opponent's mind and knowing that, hey, you know, when I go past my man, I got to deal with Mourning.
The biggest surprise in Alonzo's game thus far has been his offensive moves to the hoop and his ability to score. He's been both fluid and fearless, pretty and powerful.
I know that I have the skills. I know I got a nice little touch on my jump shot, you know, but I just got to know when to take it and when not to take it. I got to know when to drive, when not to drive, you know, so I got to just use the right judgment.
Tonight, Alonzo Mourning of the Charlotte Hornets faces more than a physical challenge. It's an emotional one. For the first time, he goes toe-to-toe with his idol Patrick Ewing in a professional game. How's it going to unfold? Each player is sidestepping the question.
I don't know. We just have to wait and see. It's going to be a lot of fun, though.
Be ready, big fella. You know, I'm going to be there. Just be ready.
All right, the matchup's now just minutes away, but it isn't just Alonzo against Patrick. It's Alonzo against Charles Smith and Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley. This front line of the New York Knicks, which is really beginning to mesh. That's Topic A with Clyde when we go.
Here tonight's starting lineup. First for Charlotte. At guard at 5'3" from Wake Forest, number 1, Muggsy Bogues. At guard at 6'5" from Illinois, number 13, Kendall Gill. At forward at 6'7" from UNLV, number 2, Larry Johnson. At forward at 6'5" from Georgetown, number 55, David Whitgate. And at center at 6'10" from Georgetown, number 33, Alonzo Mourning. The trainer is Terry Koffler, and the assistant coaches are Bill Hanslick and T.R. Dunn, and the head coach, Alan Bristow. And now, please welcome your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'6" from Kansas State, number 20, Rolando Marquez. Smith. At guard at 6'4" from Marquette, number 25, Doug Rivers. At forward at 6'10" from Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. At forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Copley. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. And trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Walsh, the assistant coaches Dick Carter and Jeff Van Gundy, and the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Well, the major curiosity for tonight's game is the matchup at center between Patrick Ewing and fellow Georgetown alum Alonzo Mourning. And earlier we talked with Alonzo about his first pro meeting with Ewing.
I've seen about everything Patrick could give me for the past 4 summers. You know, we played against each other too much for me not to know what he likes to do, and I know he has a great turnaround jump shot. You know, and he knows what I like to do as well. He knows I like my hooks, you know, around the basket, and he knows what I'm capable of doing. I know what he's capable of doing. I just got to get some help, get some weak side help, and I'm sure he's gonna have to get something too.
So, Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing about to go on the opening tip. The officials are Mike Mathis, Bill Spooner, and Joe DeRosa. And a look at the upper deck trading card cam. Tonight's overhead camera shot brought to you by Upper Deck. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. Tyrone Bogues controls for Charlotte. Kendall Gill and Muggsy Bowles in the backcourt. Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, and another Georgetown man, David Wingate up front. A pretty move by Kendall Gill, who was back in the starting lineup. He missed 7 games with a sprained ankle off a double team. Rolando Blackman, who has had difficulty getting good shots, gets right to it.
Well, the game the Charlotte Hornets play is a running game, the motion offense, and Alonzo Mourning opening up with a long jumper.
Yes, some of the shot selection of Alonzo Mourning has been questioned. Here's Ewing going at Mourning, and it's lost by Oakley.
Well, I have never seen Alonzo this closely. What upper arm development he has as he spent time with the weights.
Charlotte Hornets last night lost at home to Phoenix, 110-101. Johnson posting on Oakley. Nice move by Larry Johnson. And Charlotte has a 4-2 lead. Charlotte shot well last night, although they were beaten by the Suns. They shot 52%, and Phoenix only 44%, yet Phoenix came away with the win. Mike Mathis blowing the whistle. Foul before the shot attempt. It's on Bowles.
Odd statistics. They also out-rebounded Phoenix. And historically, when Charlotte out-rebounds and outshoots their opponent, they win something like 32 out of 40 games. But last night was the exception.
Here's Ewing with the drop step. And as you mentioned at the start, Patrick Ewing, in the midst of a very solid roll, comes off the 33-point game the other night. Good save by Wingate. Here's Mourning off the fake. And he's stopped by Ewing.
Well, Patrick didn't have to do much except stay there, and Mourning kept insisting on taking that shot. And the more he faked, the lower he was to the ground, making it easy for Ewing.
And another block by Ewing. It's a 3-on-1. Blackman with a tough pass to Rivers. And John, right at the start, you can see Alonzo Mourning is over-anxious. He is involved in a one-on-one competition with Patrick Ewing, which cannot help his ball club.
Well, he's played against Patrick in the past, only one-on-one, I would imagine, Marv, and he's so used to it, he figures he can get certain things done.
The steal as Mourning was stripped by Rivers. Here's Ewing dishing off to Oakley and misfires.
Well, that was the play to make, but a very graphic example of why you don't give the big man the ball out too far from the basket, asking him to do too much with it.
Gill. And here's Mourning. This time he drew the foul. It was tripped.
Boy, I like his motion there. I asked the coach of the Charlotte Hornets before the game, Alan Bristow, is he a center or is he a power forward? He said, I think Mourning is definitely a center. He said there's a school, a lot of people feel he's a power forward, ideally. But in my book, he's a center.
Only 66% from the foul line. He's averaging just under 17 per game. And that is first point of the night.
He missed the first 4 games of the season because he was a late signer. A lot of heavy negotiating going on. People like J.R. Reed, who was traded yesterday for Sidney Green, had to give a little bit on their salary to make it work out, which is the thing many teams have to do these days. But he was remarkable, Marv, and he stepped right in and got in big numbers immediately.
Yes, he did miss all of training camp during the course of that contract dispute. Here's the double up, which leads to the foul. Kendall Gill called for the foul. Alan Bristow, who you mentioned a moment ago, very intense coach. He has installed the passing game, which has proven to be the right system for the Hornets. Also likes to trap and press and double. You'll see that throughout the night. Rivers with the open shot. Yes. And the Knicks lead 8-6.
Blackman looked sharp early.
Johnson backing in. Mourning had it knocked away. It's recovered by Bogues. So Muggsy Bogues has tied the game at 8. Muggsy Bogues last night against Phoenix, 14 assists. Bogues guarding Rivers. Blackman being played by Gill. And that whistle away from the ball. Called on Wingate. David Wingate in his 7th year out of Georgetown. Signed as a free agent by Charlotte, has worked his way into the starting lineup, one with the one-time Knick Johnny Newman out.
David Wingate is an impossible matchup with Charles Smith. He's 5 inches taller, as Ewing shows that jump hook shot quite nicely.
Knicks have hit 5 out of 6 from the field and lead the Hornets 10-8 here in the early going. Gill rebounded by Ewing. Nice. Oh, Oakley had it knocked away. Pass off the dribble by Rivers. Right on target for Oakley. And Oakley was fouled by Wingate. That's 2 on Wingate.
99 out of 100 players would have taken a shot that Oakley looked to pass when he got the ball into the basket. He instinctively thinks pass. He's such a reluctant shooter when he gets the ball on the move around the basket.
So Oakley, who has not gone to the line frequently thus far this season, to the line for the 18th and 19th time this season. He's only 53% from the free throw line. Here's Kenny Gaddison, early substitution for David Wingate. Kenny Gaddison in a difficult situation last year with the Hornets strapped at center. He started most of the season as the center. And he goes 6'8", about 250 pounds.
I think starting Wingate was cosmetic. He started 10 of the 11 games he's been with the team. He was signed as a free agent. Gaddison had to get in there against Charles Smith.
The Knicks by 4. 4 minutes gone by. And Larry Johnson shows his range last night. 11 of 18, 29 points, 12 rebounds, and the loss to the Phoenix Suns. Blackman gets it back to Oakley, has the open jump. The Knicks lead 14-10. Johnson, a very difficult assignment now. Smith picks him up on a switch. Bogues trapped momentarily. Here's Mourning again from way out. So Alonzo Mourning does have the outside touch, but he has been forcing here in the early going.
He has beautiful form as well on his outside jumper.
And Ewing providing an answer. A 16-12 Nick lead. Patrick Ewing, 3 out of 4. He has 6 points. Good shooting start by the Knicks. Mourning goes to the hook.
He waved his teammates away also while he went in for that shot.
Blackman too strong. Ewing on the rebound. Ewing pops it out to Blackman. Yes. Well, the Knicks are certainly looking for Rolando, who is still bothered by the lower back spasms that kept him out of all of preseason. Charlotte calling for a timeout. Rolando Blackman yet to find his rhythm in the Knicks offense. Perhaps he has found it here in the first quarter.
Back at the Garden with 6:35 left in the first quarter. Well, the Payne Weber leaders point out what happened after Patrick Ewing announced his decision to attend Georgetown. A lot of fine players followed him, and we have 3 of them here. 3 of their all-time leading scorers here in this game tonight.
And Alonzo Mourning certainly looking for shots at the start of this first quarter. 1 of 4 from the field. Knicks have hit 8 of 10 in this first quarter. And they lead the Hornets 18-12.
First sign of the Knicks made a switch with Smith now on Larry Johnson. And the long arms of Charles got in the way of Larry Johnson.
Oakley with the open shot, yes. And the Knicks have played the double team perfectly here in the first quarter. They have found the open man. They now lead 20-12 on a 12-4 run. Gaddison posting up against Oakley.
Nice deflection by Charles Oakley on that attempt by Gaddison.
Oakley gets down court and gives it up to Blackman. Knicks with an 8-point lead and a blocking foul called on Oakley. So for Charles, his second substitution, Anthony Mason checking in. So Mason for Oakley, who has been perfect offensively. 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line for 6 points.
Charles established an excellent presence early in this game.
Through the bandage on the left hand of Larry Johnson, just handled the ball. He has a sprained knuckle on the left hand, but has not held him back to this point.
Some sprain. That's a lot of bandage.
Here's Johnson for 3. Charlotte has gone cold while the Knicks have shot well. Blackman obviously looking to shoot his way back into it. About the last couple of shots, Rolando. Here's Rivers. Yes. Doc Rivers, 3 of 3. And the Knicks lead 22-12. Oh, what a play by Rivers, tying up Bogues.
Very hard. In transition, the Hornets fly. And Bogues at 5'3" raced down court, but he was met. As we look at our overhead cam, defense by Doc Rivers at 6'4", getting down low on Muggsy Bogues and tying him up.
Mike Jaminsky replacing Alonzo Mourning. An anxiety-ridden Alonzo Mourning sits down with 4 points, 1 out of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Knicks lead it 22-12, 4:45 to go in this opening quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutward, Walt Frazier from Madison Square Garden. Now Ewing operating against Jaminsky. Smith, and rebounded by Jaminsky. Charles Smith has not been in the offense here in the early going, so pop that one from deep. Bogues, bothered from behind by Rivers. Kept alive, though, by Gaddison. Here's Gaddison. And Smith for the rebound. Blackman chasing down the pass from Rivers, could not get to it. Another substitution for Charlotte. Del Curry, who usually comes off the bench to supply offense, has checked in for Muggsy Bogues, leads with a field goal. Del Curry, a man the Knicks were very interested in during the offseason, along with several other teams.
Well, a lack of a perimeter game has been haunting the Knicks until this year, and Curry would have been a nice answer had the Knicks made that deal, but it all worked out in the end.
And Curry off the bench and able to fire one home.
Curry is a remarkable player in that he can do that. That's a special talent, having the ability to come off the bench and have the touch.
Knicks lead at 22-14. Curry off the steal. Doubles to Johnson. It counts. And the foul, a blocking foul on Charles Smith.
Well, that was a vivid demonstration of the power of Larry Johnson. Larry, listed at 6'7", will be the recipient of this pass as Curry moves down court. Larry at 6'7", going up against 6'10". Charles Smith makes Smith back up. Smith gets the foul. Johnson got what he wanted done.
Do I detect you questioning the 6'7" height of Larry Johnson listed?
Yeah, because he looks bigger. He certainly plays bigger.
Oh, Gill, not intending to go glass. He just told Del Curry I was trying to do that. I was trying to bank it. You're playing horse, you call glass, John. Patrick Ewing. And the Knicks now lead 24-18. Are you saying you think Johnson is bigger than 6'7"?
Yes. I mean, he looks that way.
I think he's smaller than 6'7".
He just looks that way.
No, he's smaller than 6'7". You're counting his muscles.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of Larry when he's wearing his dress.
Oh. Now, wait a second. Is that a cheap shot, or is that meant to be cute?
I'm referring to Larry's commercial ISO that's currently running on television, that when he imitates his grandmama, as he said.
Oh, I see.
He does look very tall with the dress on. Yeah.
Timeout is called. Blocking foul. Called on Gaddison, and we'll be back in a moment.
All right, please use good sense when you drink and know when to say when. Reminder from Budweiser.
And there's New York Jet head coach Bruce Coslett, who had himself a remarkable week in light of the Dennis Byrd injury and the emotional victory by the Jets last Sunday against Buffalo. And Bruce among the guests tonight of Mike Francesa in the play-by-play club following Knicks basketball. Now, Bruce was a decent tight end in his days with the Cincinnati Bengals, but I would have to say one of the all-time great tight ends in the history of the game by way of Syracuse, John. That's just by the way. John Mackey will be also on that Francesa guest list. Bruce was the backup tight end to Bob Trumpet with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the many football fans, thank you.
Charles Smith with the rebound. Knicks lead 26-18. Here's Mason, and he is rejected. And it's broken up. Here comes Greg Anthony for Doc Rivers. Good stint for Rivers. 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line, and the usual solid defense. You know, when Dave Checketts and Ernie Grunfeld made the trade for Doc Rivers, now they're certainly aware in scouting Doc over the years that he is an excellent defensive player, but we have really seen it in the early portion of the season. He has been underrated in that department. He has added another dimension at the guard position. Addison with a spin and then fires a brick. Johnson keeps it alive. Curry for 3.
He needs no warm-up. If the ball is in his hands, he doesn't need much preparation to get it released.
Knicks 26, Hornets 21. John Starks just checked in, and he tries to get right to it. John Starks supplying the spark for the Knicks here on Tuesday night. Curry with the quick release, and Ewing off the board.
It's a 9-4 run now for Charlotte as they've crept back into it.
Here is Mason. And Anthony could not hold on. A minute 10 remaining in this first quarter. Knicks opened up with the good shooting, hit 8 of their first 10. And they have dropped off at the latter portion of this first quarter. They now lead by 5. It will be Charlotte ball. We'll have 10 on the shot clock. Knicks have won 2 straight, 7 of the last 9. They come off the Tuesday night victory over Seattle. Record of 11-6, leading the Atlantic Division. 3 on the 24. And it's an offensive foul on Gaddison. Kenny Gaddison, not noted for his offensive subtlety, continues to try to go to the hoop, and he is 0 for 3 and a couple of fouls.
Well, if I were Kenny Gaddison, I'd argue that. I mean, he looked like he had the shot, and the defense,
but he's not going to get the call.
Well, he can argue.
In his style of play, okay. And he's a prisoner. Ewing over Jaminski. Gaddison with the rebound. Gill leads Jaminski. Nice look by Jaminski, and that's a goaltend. The basket counts. Well, Del Curry with his 3rd field goal. He has 7 points.
Interesting, when the Knicks needed a lift against Seattle the other night in the first half, it was Mason and Starks who did it. Tonight, it hasn't happened here in the last couple of minutes. The Knicks have gone flat.
Knicks holding for a last shot as this first quarter winds down. With the time running down. Ewing. Yes. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Knicks by 5. Here's Kendall Gill. Bottled up, not able to get the shot off. Good defensive play by the combination of Anthony and Starks. So Patrick Ewing with a fast start again. He has 10 points. Knicks lead 28-23 after 1.
This is the temple of life.
We're in the front row with family Coslet and coach of the Jets, Bruce. Now, today you told me there was no way at all that with a game this week you would come on live from the play-by-play. What happened?
I lied. What can I say?
What did they fly you with front row tickets?
That had something to do with it, but my kid just twisted my arm and talked me into it.
Bruce, how do you keep the guys focused after such an emotional high, which you could probably never ask them to repeat?
Well, we just have to go on and keep that in the back of our minds. We'll never forget that, what happened to Dennis, and, you know, the guys really responded.
Yeah, they really did. And Marv, I was out there today. They're still thinking Dennis Bird, as are we. Back to you.
All right, Al. Bruce on hand with his kids, Amy and JJ. They've spotted them, John. They usually carry the cord behind the coaches.
Yes, of course.
Switches off between the children. Knicks with a 28-23 lead as we get underway here in the second quarter. Starks missed the layup. Mourning on the rebound. Bogues is back. Try to hit Curry, deflected out, and the call is last touch by the Knicks. The officials are checking with each other. Apparently a disagreement between Bill Schooner and Joe DeRosa, and they've changed the call. Alan Briscoe doesn't like it. The ruling is now last touch by Charlotte.
Now, most coaches would say, what a dumb pass. If Curry catches the ball now, what does he do with it? He's going away from the basket. His back is to the hoop. It's like one of those, the guy's open, but if he gets it there, what is he going to do? He's going in the other direction. Pass him up.
Charles Smith up front with Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing. John Starks, Greg Anthony at the guard. Nice ball movement by the Knicks. Ewing try to finish off with a jump hook. Ewing with 10 points in the first quarter. He's hit 5 out of 8 from the field.
What the Knicks are failing to do here in the first half is crash their offensive boards. This Charlotte team is very open. They're very soft in that area. If you look at the numbers of recent games of their opponents, they've been getting killed 20-10 in comparable offensive board rebounding. The Knicks have got to go to the offensive boards.
Mason called for the foul. Oakley is back, replacing Smith. Charles Smith has played so well as of late, but to this point has not been able to get into it, has not really seen the ball. Larry Johnson setting up high against Charles Oakley. It's a one-on-one move, goes to the crossover, rebounded by Oakley.
Ewing big with the hands to challenge that shot, helping out.
Mason from Anthony. Beautiful lead pass tossed by Greg Anthony. The Knicks 30 and the Hornets 23. Curry was looking for the shot. Jaminski finds it. Mike Jaminski, who has been set back recent years by back problems. Last year played only 35 games because of a herniated disc. Kaminsky now guarding Ewing. Rebound Oakley.
Kaminsky's been playing 6 minutes a game this season as Anthony Mason follows things up and succeeds. But with J.R. Reed being traded, he will play a lot more now.
Knicks by 7. Sidney Green, as Al told you on Knicks game night, not with the club following the trade from San Antonio. Good play by Bogues getting back. And Bogues comes up with a steal. Eluding Starks. Finding Curry. Del Curry on fire. He has 9 points. The Knicks lead 32-27.
You watch him shoot the ball, you think the guy never misses. Then you look at the stats for this year. He's shooting 43% from the field. But he has brought the touch here to the Garden tonight.
Starks on the foul. Herb Williams coming on, replacing Patrick Ewing. Ewing with 10 points, 5 of 9 from the field. 3 minutes in, second quarter. The Knicks lead by 5. They've led by as many as 10. Kaminsky wide open. Mason saw the clear alley, and then Johnson was able to step over.
Oakley yelling to get the ball back to Mason. He's unguarded.
Herb Williams with the turnaround in the face of Alonzo Mourning. Herb Williams has given the Knicks quality time almost every moment he's been on the court. And it's tough to do when you're taken in and out of the lineup and you play just a few minutes every game. Bogues able to recapture that bad pass. Here's Curry. That was a 3-point attempt. Rebound Mourning. Alonzo Mourning converting. The Knicks lead 34-29.
Well, Alonzo knows Patrick wasn't around, but it still felt good. He went for the big, dramatic slam dunk.
Mourning giving Mason all kinds of room. Here's Starks. And Oakley was fouled. Larry Johnson called for his first.
Well, Larry Johnson following Oakley to the foul line with a lot of lift. On that Curry miss, Alonzo Mourning at 6'10" goes in for the slam dunk.
So Mourning with 6 points. Charles Oakley 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Substitution, Tom Hammonds coming on to give Larry Johnson a rest. 6 points for Johnson, 3 of 8 from the field. Tom Hammonds in his 4th NBA season out of Georgia Tech, spent 3 years with Washington, came over here last season in February in the deal for Rex Chapman, but did not play at all for Charlotte last year because of a groin pull. Mourning going at Williams, and he stopped. Herb Williams got a piece of it.
Oh, it was also a very bad shot.
Knicks with the ball and a 6-point lead. Starks has it off. And hearing it from the crowd, John is 0 for 4. And his shots have been way off the mark. Here's Gaddison wheeling in and again. Not able to hit. This time he follows. 35-31. Knicks with the lead. 7:20 remaining first half. And Pat Riley wants a timeout. 7:19 remaining in the second quarter.
A moment of silence as he's making his points. We'll look at Kenny Gaddison at work now from our upper deck trading cam angle. Charlotte Hornets into that passing game. Gaddison with that big 6'8" frame working in down low. Offensive rebound for a change for the Charlotte Hornets. That's where they have been lacking of late. That was a good effort, though, and it paid off.
This is the first of 4 meetings this season between the Knicks and Charlotte. Last year, the Knicks took 4 out of 4. The Knicks have won 8 straight against the Hornets. The Knicks last lost to Charlotte March of 1990. Mason with a hesitation dribble and fall for a palm. Anthony Mason often gets away with that move, as do many other players in the NBA. That hesitation, but that time he carried it, he palmed it. I don't think there's any question about it. 5 minutes gone by in the third. Knicks with a 4-point lead. They've led by as many as 10. Oakley switching off to Bogues. Rebounded by Williams. Anthony and Starks at the guards. Williams, Oakley, Mason up front. Starks switching hands in midair. What a move by John Starks.
Well, he was reminded by the coaching staff recently that he hasn't been driving the ball as much. But he got into it the other night against Seattle, and he made up his mind on that move.
The foul, Charles Smith checking back in. Here's that terrific move by Starks, switching the hands and hitting on the drive.
His determination just pushes him to another level because he was well played on that move, and he still succeeded.
Yes, Nick, assistant coach Jeff Van Gundy was certainly aware that John Starks was in a shooting slump. Alonzo Mourning continues to pop away with just awful shot selection. That was last touch, though, by the Knicks. Jeff Van Gundy, there he is, taking notes on the Knicks bench. Certainly aware of the shooting problems of John Starks, but he said it wasn't simply a bad stroke from outside. He said his layup attempts are down, and so is the layup percentage. And the other night against Seattle, Starks listened and took it to the basket more frequently.
Meanwhile, the Knicks are flat offensively. They're not getting reliable outside shooting, and they're missing that little extra pass.
Patrick Ewing getting set to return. Here's Mourning, met by Starks and called for the offensive foul. Made the nice move in getting around Williams. And Starks able to jump in front to draw the foul.
Mourning anxious to impress, gets a beautiful move started. But Starks, as he often does, offers himself up and draws the offensive foul on Big Alonzo.
Here the club shooting well here in the second quarter. Knicks 4 of 11. Charlotte 4 of 13. 5.5 remaining in the second. They're trying to establish ball movement here. They lead by 6. Anthony for Mason. Shot clock at 2. Mason rejected by Mourning. Gill had it knocked away. The steal by Gill. Oh, what a sequence for Kendall Gill. He loses it in the offensive end and then recaptures by swiping from Ewing and then hits that side jump shot.
This passing game breeds quick shooting. That's one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of bad shots. This team is used to shooting quickly.
Oh, boy. Now, that was not a good shot by Charles Smith. Here's Hammonds. Tom Hammonds connecting for his first field goal, and the Hornets have moved within 2.
See, the passing game that the Hornets play means a lot of shot attempts, but it keeps the defense off balance because the shots are going up so quickly.
Ewing, yes. Ewing with the drop step. He now has 12. Knicks lead 39-35. Bogues and Gill now in the backcourt. Gaddison up front with Hammonds and Mourning. It counts and a foul. So Gaddison will go to the line.
The passing game and switching defenses also create mismatches. Here's a mismatch. Blackman on the taller Gaddison. Ewing comes over to help. Does a good job, but Gaddison does a better job.
Blackman committing his first foul. Rivers is back. Set that Knick lineup as Rivers and Blackman now in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Mason up front. Mason on the box out. Knicks by 2, just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Rivers dwarfing the 5'3" Bogues as he's able to move it down. Ewing played by Mourning. And it's a traveling violation. Here comes Larry Johnson back. He'll replace Ken Gaddison, who sits down with 4 points and 4 rebounds.
Boy, between Gaddison and Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, I don't think there's a threesome on the front line of any team with the muscles that these guys have in their upper body.
Johnson backing Smith. And it's hammered home by Mourning. And he's tied the score at 39.
Well, one can only assume that Ewing and Charles Smith felt they could out-jump Alonzo. Nobody boxed him out.
Charlotte has come from 10 points back to tie the game. Ewing giving the Knicks a 2-point lead. 14 for Ewing. Knicks 41, the Hornets 39. Last season, as Mourning fires away from long range, last season Charlotte at 31 and 51. Here is Blackman. That was not intended as a pass, but Charles Smith able to convert. Alan Bristow calling for a timeout. The Hornets last year tied for last in the Central with Milwaukee, but this season off to a 9-9 start.
Patrick Ewing. Patrick moments ago going to that fadeaway jump shot down low. Unstoppable move by Ewing. Mourning has taken many shots here tonight. Larry Johnson on the miss, but Alonzo instinctively went in and followed it up.
The Knicks with a 43-39 lead. 2.5 remaining in the first half. Johnson wheeling in, goes to the fadeaway. Rebound Mourning. Rivers tried to tie him up. And he did. Good play by Doc Rivers.
Matchup between Ewing and Mourning. Ewing leading 14 points to 8. Patrick with 11 shot attempts to 8 for Mourning, who seems to have taken 15. So you look at the shots, it just shows you what a bad shot seems to register as 2 shots when you're looking at it.
Hey, that'd be a new stat, John. The Johnny Hoops addition to the score sheet. Mourning again, and this time he drew the foul. I like that.
I gather you will agree that it appears that he has taken more shots than Ewing. Am I putting words in your mouth? You reluctantly agree?
I do agree.
Reluctant. Sorry to make you so uncomfortable. Well, Mourning working hard at any rate, and he's getting his points with that hard work against 3 Knicks in that front line.
Mourning is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Here's Charles Oakley for Anthony Mason. Leads with 4 points. Alonzo Mourning, the 2nd pick overall in the draft this past season, right behind Shaquille O'Neal. At Georgetown, a tremendous force in the lane. Does have the good hands. Strong rebounder, shot blocker, and can shoot with range. But the question is the shot selection. Here's the trap once again. And the Knicks have not had any trouble with it. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing with another superb first half. That's the case here on Tuesday against Seattle when he came out strong in the first quarter and had the strong half. Gill able to recapture. Knicks lead 45-41. Here's Curry. He was tripped.
Speaking with Alan Bristow, the coach of the Hornets, before the game about Mourning's shot selection, Marv, I asked if much criticism has come Alonzo's way, and that's Alan in the middle. Bill Hanslick to the right there, the former player in the NBA for many years, Notre Dame product. And Alan, in defense of Mourning, said our style, our passing game style, puts him in position many times to take shots that are not ideal, but with the passing game you do get a lot of rush shots, but coaches are willing to sacrifice that many times in order to play that style.
Well, a man we have not seen the last 3 games, Tony Campbell, working his way back into the rotation.
To the rotation, yes.
Basketball's new most popular term.
He's number 10 now tonight because Herb Williams seems to have cracked the solid number 9 position for the Knicks.
Knicks lead 45-42. Ewing not able to get the roll.
Great box out by Larry Johnson on Oakley.
Curry eluding Blackman. Blackman got the hand on him and a foul call. Knicks are over the foul limit.
This is a most opportune time for Tony Campbell to come into the game. Pat Riley cannot be happy with this team's offense after a sparkling opening to the game. The Knicks have gone flat. And they've been played even by Charlotte. Playing their second game now in 2 nights. They played at home last night, and they could be a little fatigued, but they've played very impressively energy-wise here.
Difficult situation for Campbell, who started the first 13 games, did not shoot well, and also was forcing a shot. Now he comes on here, you know, he doesn't want to force shots, but they're looking for some offense. So let's see how he plays it. Blackman for Ewing, and he was bottled up, lost it. The steal by Rivers. Doc Rivers has been outstanding. He has 10 points. Knicks lead 47-43.
Bonehead play by the Hornets, though, keeping that ball alive, and it went right into the hands of Rivers for an easy one.
Just under 1 minute to go in this first half. Campbell now guarding Johnson. Again a steal by Rivers. Chased by Gill. Rivers was fouled. He slowed down to draw the foul, a la Walt Clyde Frazier.
Well, to gather himself for the shot attempt, he was being pursued quickly. Rivers, with great anticipation, goes into that passing lane. Gill in hot pursuit. He's fouled from behind. Doc Rivers has been a bright spot for the Knicks in this first half. Very impressive numbers. 3 steals. Now 11 points.
Knicks by 5. 42 seconds remaining. First half. Knicks lead 49-43. Hammonds being played by Oakley. Mourning. Tied up.
Looked like it might have been a walking violation building there as well.
Ewing and Mourning will jump it up.
Interesting to note the Knicks aren't bothering to double team Mourning when Ewing's on him.
To start out at center court. Alonzo has not seen a shot here tonight that he has not liked. Mourning 3 of 9 in the first half, but has pulled down 10 rebounds. Time running down in the second quarter. Campbell is wide open. Yes. Tony Campbell off the bench to hit on his first field goal attempt. Final seconds of the half. Knicks by 8. Gill followed by Campbell. Here's Hammonds. Excellent defensive work by the Knicks, putting pressure on Charlotte, yet not committing a foul, not giving up a gimme shot in the final seconds. So at the half, the Knicks 51, the Charlotte Hornets 43. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk, and then we'll hear from Al and Walt. We'll be back in a moment. 7% from the line for the season. Bogues and Gill at the guards. Mourning with Johnson and Wingate up front. Shot clock at 5. Wingate rejected by Smith. Oakley trying to save it.
Get in, Mark. Get in, Mark.
So the Knicks turn it over, and back comes Bowles. David Wingate starting this second half. Started the game, played only 4 minutes, picked up 2 fouls, then went to the bench. Here's Kendall Gill. Kendall Gill, 3-year player from Illinois. Last year averaged 20 points per game, making it back after sitting out 7 games with a sprained ankle. Blackman. And the Knicks now lead by 8. Orlando has 6 points.
What a surprisingly low number of turnovers in the first half. Only 3 for each team.
Wingate flying by. That shot bothered by Ewing. Oakley trying to save it. It will be Charlotte ball. The Charlotte Hornets with a record of 9-9. They have dropped their last 2. They've lost 5 of the last 7 after getting off to the good start. Last night at home, they were beaten by Phoenix 110-101. Johnson with the putback. Knicks by 6. And you heard the whistle. A technical foul has been called against Larry Johnson, who apparently had something to say. He felt he was fouled on that first attempt, did not get the call.
Official stepping right up face to face with Larry Johnson as well. Not shaking or shirking rather the responsibility of dealing with Larry. Bill Spooner, the official. Larry Johnson has a lot to say, feels he got fouled, and he pointedly tells the official what he thinks, and he gets a response accordingly with that technical.
It was a carryover from the first half. He was unhappy about not getting some calls. Knicks able to take advantage of the technical. And the ball goes back to the Hornets. Knicks lead by 7 with 2 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Charles Oakley only played 6 minutes of the first half, getting 2 fouls early, and he sat a lot.
And Johnson is fouled, so he'll go to the line.
Correction on that, Marv. I was looking at the quarter statistics in the first half. Charles had played 13 minutes.
No, John. I thought Charles did contribute quite a bit, but 6 minutes, that would have been
all-star team.
Larry Johnson, 4 out of 12 from the field. He's 1 for 2 from the line. It's the Knicks 54 and the Hornets 49. Rivers being played by Bogues. Blackman, watched by Gill. Blackman trying to dish off to Oakley. Not a good pass.
Well, you like unselfishness, but that wasn't a catchable pass from Orlando.
Bogues setting up against Rivers. Here's Bogues open. And a loose ball foul called. Smith had that rebound and took a shot from Kendall Gill. That's 3 on Gill. Hornets with their second team foul. Well, the Knicks come in with a record of 11-6. They are a game and a half in front of New Jersey, 2.5 over Orlando. There's Blackman going to the running hook.
Orlando getting more forceful now in his moves.
Larry Johnson. And he is fouled. And Oakley did not like that call.
Well, Larry went up to Charles, and he was getting close to him. He was trying to force a visual face down, but Charles walked away from Larry Johnson.
And apparently a flagrant foul was called.
Judging on Johnson's reaction, he felt it was flagrant. He was looking for Charles Oakley to discuss it.
So 2 shots plus possession for Charlotte.
Well, that's some contraption Larry has on his left hand. The left hand for him, even though it's his balance hand, not his shooting hand, is still very important to his shooting. But with all of the bandaging he has around his hand, it doesn't seem to be retarding him. Another look at Larry Johnson and the flagrant foul. The right arm push by Oakley was judged to be a flagrant foul. You've got to go for the ball. You can't go for a player's body alone.
Johnson with the spin around Oakley. Beautiful move by Larry Johnson. Knicks 56, Hornets 53. 13 points for Johnson, who jumps out on Rivers on a switch. Here's Rivers. Bolts racing down. And Bolts brings the Hornets within one. Timeout taken by the Knicks with 4 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Season. Here's Ewing with a power move. Kendall Gill got caught in a switch. Knicks now lead 58-55.
Kendall went for a ride, much against his will.
Ewing with 18 points. It will count and a foul.
Spectacular drive. He goes left across the lane. He's got to shoot with his right hand. He's got to beat bigger people, and he does it. Larry Johnson goes left. Big people, he hangs in the air with the big guys around him. The soft touch, not deterred, and he completes a three-point play.
Yes, hits the free throw. You may recall when Larry Johnson came out of UNLV, despite the terrific collegiate career, there were many doubts about his game. There are no doubts after seeing him in his rookie season and in the early portion of this, his second year. That counts, plus the foul. So Ewing will go to the line.
Ewing striking right back now, one-on-one against Alonzo Mourning. Deceptively executed shot. You know, Marv, I'm thinking about Larry Johnson. He's a tough guy, and he takes nothing. Charles Oakley's a very tough guy. But I think that Larry Johnson has given off a message, don't touch me, or you're going to pay. And I think the Knicks could be playing him tougher. They could be knocking him down around the basket, playing him more physically. But he intimidates himself on offense.
Traveling violation. So you feel the Knicks, even with the fact that they have some aggressive ball players, are stepping away a little bit.
I think they're allowing him to do what he wants. I think they could be more physical on him because he demands it with his style. He comes right at you, and you're either going to accept it or you're going to watch him go by.
Blackman. Orlando has hit 5 out of 9. He has 11. The Knicks by 4 with 6.5 remaining in the third quarter. Blackman is 3 of 3 from the field in this third quarter. Here is David Wingate. Nice looking shot for his first field goal. David Wingate, originally a second-round pick of the 76ers, spent 3 years with Philadelphia, 2 with the Spurs, 1 with Washington, and signed here as a free agent by Charlotte. Charles Smith with a power move. That's only his second field goal. The Knicks lead by 4.
The Knicks are going to win this game. Charles has to step up to help Ewing out offensively.
Here's Gill, rejected. Mourning thought he was fouled. Blackman. And back comes Bowles. Knicks able to make the transition. Mourning from Bowles. Mourning with the rebound was fouled. Oakley and Rivers with a shot at Mourning, and Rivers picks it up. That's his first. Alonzo Mourning to the line.
Good offensive rebound work now. After a rejection by Charles Smith, Hornets keep digging around the basket and come out of it with something. Well, back to the Larry Johnson thing. Again, not suggesting violence or unnecessary roughness, but I think Larry Johnson gives off a fierceness when you look at his expression up and down the court. I mean, he looks like he wants to eat nails, and he does eat. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's just got he goes eye to eye. He's got no problem looking at you square in the eye. Not every player does that. He's tough, and he announces it with that face and with the body and the way he plays. And I just think that when he comes down the middle and drives like he often does, Knicks could use a foul or two to remind him how tough it is when you go to the basket.
And you have to love the way he plays.
Oh, he's terrific.
Rivers off the double team, getting it ahead. Here's Blackman. Rebound Oakley. Knicks with a 2-point lead. We come up on 5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Nice play. Deflection by Wingate, handled by Bowles. Back for Wingate. Gill had it knocked away, and they'll jump it up. Blackman and Wingate on the tie-up. Del Curry, who provided a spark in the first half, makes his return, replacing Muggsy Bogues. Curry, 13 minutes, 4 of 8, 11 points in the first half. So the Knicks control the tip. Pat Riley staying with Rivers and Blackman in the backcourt. Oakley, Ewing, Smith up front. Smith with the open shot. Oakley, good hustle. And off the steal, we get the whistle.
Charles had Rolando right next to him, but thought he could make a better pass across court.
Now substitution for the Knicks. Anthony Mason replacing Charles Oakley. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 fouls for Oakley. John Starks will come on as Del Curry goes to the line.
This game is another reminder of how difficult it is to be a coach and have an even stomach. And Pat Riley's got to be standing there thinking there's no reason for the score to be as close as it is. Our players are rested. They're in a good groove. And yet we're struggling with an undermanned team, because if you look at the respective lineups, there's no reason this game should be tied.
Well, Charlotte succeeding at the foul line in this third quarter, 9 of 9 from the line. And the game is tied at 64 with 4:35 remaining. Third quarter. Now Starks and Rivers in the backcourt. Mismatch. Smith decided to throw it back out. Shot clock at 3. Smith has to fire one. And a foul. A reach-in is called on Ewing. He was trying to knock the ball free from Gill. The Knicks are now over the foul limit, so Kendall Gill will head to the line. David Wingate departs, and Kenny Gaddison is back in. So it's Gaddison with Mourning and Johnson on the front line. Gill and Curry in the backcourt.
Well, this is Gill's 4th game back after missing 7 with the ankle injury. Anybody who has watched Kendall Gill over his 2 prior years in the NBA would vote that he will be an NBA All-Star soon.
Last year, Kendall Gill added 20 pounds, did not seem to sacrifice any speed. Yes, he is a rising star. Kendall Gill out of the University of Illinois, and he's given the Hornets a 2-point lead. First time they've led since early in the game. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shot clock at 5. Ewing over Mourning, yes. And the game is tied at 66. Patrick Ewing has 22. Brown trying to get into it. Gill with the step. Gill on the recovery for Johnson. Hornets 68, the Knicks 66. Larry Johnson with 17. He is high man for Charlotte. A steal, and here comes Gill for Johnson. Over to Curry, stopped by Starr. Last touch by the Hornets.
That was Alonzo Mourning on the steal.
And now Greg Anthony reports in for Doc Rivers. Nick ball, they are down by 2. Anthony and Starks now in the backcourt. Ewing with Smith and Mason up front. Shot clock at 5. Down to 3. Down to 1. Starks on the recovery. Jump ball. Gaddison tied him up. We have had a host of tie-ups. And another jump ball coming up after we take a break for this timeout.
The Knicks were much stronger in the first half inside around the basket than in the second half. Dutch boy in the paint numbers. First half the Knicks dominated. The second half the Hornets are dominating down low in the paint. Knicks have to get tougher. Charles Smith screaming for the ball. Number 54 gets that ball down low at 6'10". He works it out.
Well, the reason we Fayard, crack statistician Eric Mellis, the big bucks. He has come up with the stat. This is the 4th jump ball tonight, John, not including the opening tip. Now, there's a stat man really following the action.
Very meaningful.
And it's controlled by the Hornets. Gill with an offensive foul. That is his 4th.
Or to make it complete, let's ask Eric who won the tap each time.
Now you're really taxing it. Let's not get crazy.
Actually, I remember the opening of the game, Charlotte won it.
Yes, but you have 4 more to account for.
They just won the last one.
Knicks down by 2. They doubled up on Ewing, and he was hit. Mourning did not like that call.
The Knicks need some leadership now. Big job for Greg Anthony. He's got to settle his team down as we look at Ewing going up. Ball slips out of his hand, actually. And Mourning felt that Ewing created his own problem. He had nothing to do with it.
Alonzo picking up his 3rd foul. 23 points for Ewing. That is his first successful free throw. He missed his first 3. Hornets have done it at the foul line. 11 for 11 at the line in his 3rd quarter. Knicks and Hornets tied at 68. 2.5 remaining in the 3rd. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutler, Walt Frazier from the Garden. Larry Johnson to the fadeaway.
He got nowhere with Charles Smith on him.
He was forced to go to the fade. Smith played him very well. Mason. Curry and Bogues now in the backcourt for Charlotte. Mourning with Johnson and Gaddison up front. Here's Mourning. Nice shot by Alonzo Mourning. Hornets lead 70-68. Another sellout crowd here at the Garden. 10th of the season. Starks was turned back. Smith. Three-point attack. Yes. Starks from deep in the corner. That is only his 2nd field goal of the game. And the Knicks take a 1-point lead. Mourning with the fake. And he's fouled. Fouled by Mason.
Well, at the other end of the court, the Knicks have been screaming out for some perimeter shooting. Perhaps John Starks will loosen this team up, as he just did.
There's Bristow and his counterpart, Pat Riley. Mourning, 6 for 6 from the line. Tony Campbell getting set to make his return. He had not played in 3 games and was inserted for the final 2 minutes of the first half. Hit his only field goal attempt. Campbell will replace Smith. The Knicks and the Hornets are now tied at 71.
You mentioned the 2 coaches, Marv. I was thinking of the contrast when in the Hornets write-up press information before the game. Bristow just got his 40th win as a head coach. Pat Riley here tonight. They're both on equal terms. He's 555 wins ahead of him. What a contrast in the young and the veteran careers.
This is only Bristow's 100th game as coach of the Hornets. Mourning getting down, beating the Knicks down court. Hornets lead 74-71. This represents their biggest lead of the night.
Mourning goes flying, having bumped into Patrick Ewing.
Mason blows the stop after the good pass from Ewing. Del Curry. And Ewing with the rebound. Gets it down for Starks. Mason lost the grip. Anthony Mason blew the stuff a moment ago and lost the handle. Looked like Larry Johnson enjoyed. That was almost a backcourt violation. Mourning quickly stepping to the front court. Larry Johnson enjoyed that last miss by Mason.
Well, it looked like it might have been a dunk attempt, Marv, once again.
Here's Bogues. He beat the 24-second clock. Hornets lead 76-71. Final seconds of the third quarter. Ewing, yes. Buzzer basket. So Patrick Ewing concludes the third quarter by hitting the jump shot. Patrick Ewing with 26 points. He is now 12 for 19 from the field. After three, Charlotte leads by 3 points.
Back at the Garden in the front row with Bill Murray. Bill, it's so nice of a guy who's got so little free time to donate the time to appear on Live from the Play-by-Play.
Well, it's really I'm really working security, Al. There's been some problems in the play-by-play, and I think sometimes you don't have to wear a gun. It's just the respect that you get from people, and I think that's just what Mike and some of the others want up there.
So you'll strong-arm the crowd. Now, the other thing that I wanted to know is, as you sit and watch this game, are you going to slow down on the food consumption?
It's really just the popcorn that's caught me tonight, Al. The popcorn here really is outstanding, and I would say to anybody that hasn't been to a Knicks game recently that the concessions have come a long way. The Knicks City Dancers and the concessions have both, you know, it's a rebuilding time for the Garden, and I think both of them have improved considerably. Both of them.
You're sort of a color commentator for the Garden environment. Thanks, Bill. We'll see you later. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Al. Bill Murray want to know when will it be on. As Alonzo Mourning opens up this fourth quarter. Bill not accustomed to the live TV route.
Muggsy Bogues, meanwhile, set up Mourning beautifully on that last move.
Hornets by 5. As this fourth quarter gets underway, the Hornets outscored the Knicks 33-22 in the third quarter. A lot of points given up by the Knicks. Hornets with 33 in the third quarter. Anthony and Starks now in the backcourt. Here's Ewing. Mason with the tip. Pat Riley has Ewing with Campbell and Mason up front. Combination we have not seen in recent games. Mourning. Ewing with the rebound. The Knicks down by 3. Another steal. Here comes Bogues. 4 on 3. Johnson stopped. Looked like Campbell got a piece of it. Last touch by Charlotte.
Greg Anthony must be more careful with his passing. He threw that last one away. He had 5 turnovers last game as well. He's got to be careful.
Alley-oop. Off the mark. Ewing called for it, but Anthony off target. Hornets lead by 3. Knicks led most of the way. Charlotte taking over in the third quarter. Knicks had an 8-point lead at halftime. Here's Bogues. And Ewing able to sweep it.
Interesting pitch out by Patrick Ewing.
Starks for 3. Hit one earlier. Mason on the rebound. Knicks get a new 24. Mason drawing the double team. Here comes Bogues off the steal, and he throws it away.
Interesting to me, Marv, that the Knicks haven't matched Anthony Mason with Larry Johnson tonight. I would have thought that would be a natural clash of the great bodies, but Mason has been busy with Gaddison and other people.
Ewing rejected by Mourning. Scooped up by Campbell. Goes to the left hand. Strong move by Tony Campbell, trying to play his way back. And he's cut the Charlotte lead to 1.
And he's added something.
Crowd very much into it now at the Knicks defensive end. They double up on Johnson, bring up Bogues. Open shot from Muggsy Bogues.
Larry Johnson gave it up unselfishly when he got double teamed.
Hornets lead 80-77. 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. Ewing on a double team. Mason with the back tap, and a loose ball foul assessed on Ewing. That is his 4th foul.
Well, that's a foul you can't fault Ewing for. It was a good aggressive effort to get the loose ball. Alonzo Mourning playing big. That's what he's brought to this team. Defensive presence inside. They never had it before, but Tony Campbell was there to finish things off.
Curry, he was not sure when he went up if he would pass or take the shot. Then he tried to plead for the foul. Again, the double up on Ewing, gets it back out. Starks could not hit. Mason recaptures. Campbell was open. And that will count as a goaltend. Tony Campbell very much into it. Integral part of the Knick offense after sitting for 3 games, after vanishing from Pat Riley's plans, but not the case here tonight.
Now around the holidays, and the Knicks have an answer. A holiday hoops package, tickets, a videotape, and a Knicks t-shirt. For more information, call 212-465-JUMP.
You know what the videotape is? You promo this every night. It sounds like you're giving away a blank videotape, John. Knicks history videotape. A very fine tape, incidentally.
Narrated by who?
No, I'm not the narrator. There's some play-by-play moments in there, which also include your voice. But a well-done NBA entertainment product.
Well, that rounds out the holiday package, Marv.
Quality. In other words, you thought they were giving away as part of this a blank videotape. So you've been saying it for weeks.
So you could tape Knick games, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Hornets lead by 1 as we come up to 8 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Johnson double team. Gill with a gorgeous pass for Gaddison. And he'll go to the line. What a pass. Kendall Gill fired it down low, and Ewing called for the foul, his 5th.
Now the Knicks are facing a team that's rather short. Kenny Gaddison, as he played last year as the starting center for this team, is 6'8" tall.
There's Herb Williams back, replacing Patrick Ewing. Sits down with 26 points.
This will be brief.
Kenny Gaddison is one of the poorer free throw shooters in the league this year at 57%. Hits 1 out of 2. Hornets lead 81-79. This game is picked up here in the 4th quarter. 3rd quarter on the dull side. Mason with a spin, and that drew the foul.
Anthony and Starks have certainly gotten Pat Riley's vote of confidence. They've been out in the court together for quite a while now.
Gaddison called for the foul, his 3rd. Pat Riley pondering the lineup that he has on the floor. He is staying with Herb Williams, Anthony Mason, Tony Campbell. That's the front line, and he has Greg Anthony and John Starks at the guard position.
Well, this game is up for grabs, and he's got his 5 starters at the end of the bench. But I would think Ewing will be back momentarily.
Knicks and the Hornets tied at 81. Chant of defense from the capacity crowd. Nice setup for Gaddison. Folds with a beautiful pass.
It's tough, but Greg Anthony's job is to stay in front of Bogues. Bogues made that play happen.
Anthony for 3. Knicks able to keep it in play. Starks had it knocked away. And the call is last touch by Charlotte. Bogues appealing to the official, Mike Mathis, and hit with a technical foul. Oh, Mathis didn't like it. Alan Bristow tried to stop the tee, but there was no way. He was trying to get to Bogues to keep him away. Alan Bristow, who is one of the more intense coaches, is ushering Bogues aside. Starks will shoot the technical. The Knicks trail by 1. Larry Johnson settling the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues down.
You know, Marv, it's thinking about Pat Riley's coaching style.
Are we getting philosophical now?
Well, I'm noting how unconventional he is. This game is up for grabs. Knicks are undefeated at home. He's going with Tony Campbell. He's going with guys who've been sitting most of the time in comparison to his starters.
Steal by Gill. Curry. Off the steal by Kendall Gill. Del Curry gives the Hornets an 85-82 lead. But you know you have a shot to play in this type of situation.
Absolutely.
Tony Campbell was buried for a few games and been able to take advantage of the playing time. That was last touched by Charlotte. It will be Nick Ball with 9 seconds on the 24. There's the Knicks bench comprising of the starting lineup.
You have a shot to play, but this man wants to win, and he's willing to take chances, and that's what he's doing.
Starks. Yes. Hornets lead by 1. 6:15 remaining on the 4th. Quick release by Curry. Johnson kept it alive. Bogues shooting. Muggsy Bogues with his 5th field goal. He's 5 for 9, 10 points, along with 7 assists. Hornets have 10 steals tonight. Knicks with 6. Make it 11. Bogues with another steal. Bogues splitting through. Rebound Johnson. Rebound Johnson. It counts. And the foul. What an effort by Larry Johnson.
And he looks for somebody to hug and express how he feels about that move, and he finds happy teammates around him. Once again, though, Muggsy Bogues makes things happen. He forces that ball into the heart of the Knicks defense.
Larry Johnson completing the 3-point play. And this the biggest lead of the game for Charlotte. Hornets 90, Knicks 84. The Knicks call for time.
New York Knicks you by the team of Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. Charlotte Hornets are on the road, but they're playing tough here in the stretch. Muggsy Bogues with a steal, and he leads his team up court, pushes that ball inside. Larry Johnson right with him. Johnson with tremendous second and third effort gets the soft touch, the roll, and the foul shot. And we're talking about a 6-point lead now for the Charlotte Hornets. Muggsy Bogues, the number 4 man in the NBA in the assist department.
The Knicks with 13 turnovers in the second half. 11 steals by Charlotte. 3 of the 11 for Bogues. Illegal defense called for the first time on the Hornets. Patrick Ewing is back in. He's playing with 5 fouls. Here comes Charles Smith along with Doc Rivers. Rick Anthony and Tony Campbell will sit down. 5.5 remaining in the game. The Hornets lead by 6. The Knicks undefeated at home, 9-0 here at the Garden. Rivers, yes.
He didn't want to shoot coming off the bench cold, but he knew when he got in that far, Bogues was not going to block his shot.
14 for Doc Rivers. He's hit 5 out of 6 from the floor. Knicks are trailing by 4. Now the matchup is Charles Smith against Larry Johnson. Oh, what a ridiculous shot by Alonzo Mourning. Starks whipping by Gill, and he's fouled by Mourning. So Starks will go to the line, but right here we'll go to Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk.
Marv, what a win for Fordham tonight. As just seen on MSG2, Jay Fazan to Dave Buckner to Sherwin Content, whose lay-in makes it 55-49 over St. John's. The Rams go on to post their first win over the Johnnies since February 71.
Thank you, Bob. Were you with that team? No, February 71. John, you have to be waving the Ram flag tonight. Fordham knocking off St. John.
That's a huge one. Nick McCarchick visiting with us the other night saying it's going to take patience and time. And boy, what a big one. I remember Marvin my junior year, the days of Tony Jackson and Alan Seiden.
Late 40s?
I hope Alan's listening to this now.
Late 40s?
Right. No, much after that. We also sprang an upset, but there have been rare victories for Fordham against St. John's. That's a tremendous win for Fordham.
So you guys beat a Tony Jackson and Alan Seiden St. John's club. Huh?
We surprised them up at Rose Hill. That was a surprise.
Very impressive. The Knicks are within 2 points. 4:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rivers with a spin gets it out to Smith. Yes. Game tied at 90.
Well, Pat Riley did some tinkering with the lineup and got instant results.
Yes, 6 unanswered points by the Knicks. Johnson drawing the double team. Rivers over to help. Shot clock at 3. Curry fires. Rebound Ewing. Rivers gets it down. To Starks to the roofer. 8 consecutive points by the Knicks. And the Hornets will talk it over.
Things you can do during the holidays for $5 a day.
Well, Pat Riley went to the bench, and the Knicks get results. Muggsy Bogues driving. Starks tips that ball away as he's falling down. Del Curry, the last man you want to have a shot at this moment, but he misses. Ewing with the rebound. Doc Rivers off the bench, on target to Starks, but it still is tough, and Starks makes it happen. Pat Riley much happier now the way things are going. An 8-0 run for the Knicks have given him a 2-point lead.
Just under 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's Bogues. Last touch by Gaddison of Charlotte. The Knicks with very strong defensive play. The last 2-3 times down for Charlotte. They have stopped the Hornets.
And Madison Square Garden is taking on the sound of the Charlotte Coliseum right now, also known as the Hive when you're down there.
Yes, that is a very enthusiastic arena. Even when the Charlotte Hornets were having their difficulties in the early stages of the franchise, Alan Bristow upset. He was trying to insert Alonzo Mourning off that deflection out of bounds, but could not, and so was forced to take a 20-second timeout. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited. There is Peter Finney to the right, Fred Kerber to the left, Fred of the New York Post, Peter of the New York Daily News. Peter winding down. He's headed back to his hometown of New Orleans, and maybe the final game that he's covering for the New York Daily News. Terrific guy, and he missed from the local scene. Carl Smith hitting the deck as he missed that shot. Here's Gaddison. Kenny Gaddison with a hard drive, and that ties the game at 92. And now a 20-second timeout called by the Knicks, and you can see Charles Smith hobbling off, being checked by the Knicks trainer Mike Saunders.
Many times a player, although he's hobbling badly at a moment like this, can shake off the sprain. That's what the Knicks are hoping for now. Charles leads the way. He does not want to leave the game. Charles Smith with the ball, goes up for the shot, comes down. You can see that right foot hit Larry Johnson's foot. The majority of sprained ankles come when a player leaves the ground and comes down on another player's foot.
Charles Smith sitting down, replaced by Anthony Mason. 6 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocked shots for Smith. Game tied at 92. Ewing setting up against Mourning. Ewing is playing with 5 fouls. Mourning has 4. Shot clock at 7. Rivers, way off, handled by Oakley's got to get it up. Starks does. And it's rebounded by Curry, then knocked away. Handled by Johnson. Gill with a 3-on-2. Step back. Not able to hit, though. And last touch. Let's see. The officials checking each other. And the outside official allowed to make the call. Joe DeRosa had the better sight line, and he said knocked out by the Hornets. So a break for the Knicks. Game tied at 92 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Gill fell down. Starks did not realize it at first. Here is Ewing. Yes, Patrick Ewing with 28 points, and he gives the Knicks a 94-92 lead.
Patrick balancing his inside-outside game very well tonight.
Mourning gets the roll. Ewing did not want to pick up number 6.
Quite impressive by the rookie Mourning.
22 points for Mourning, along with 16 rebounds, although he has not shot well. Game tied at 94. Rivers is wide open. Oakley, last touch by Johnson. Oakley would certainly have had a beat, and he started to make the point that Johnson was holding on to his jersey, but Larry Johnson knocked it out of bounds, and so the Knicks got the call. But first, a timeout is taken. It will be Knick ball when we resume. Tonight it's game 3 of a 5-game homestand, a stand that continues on Saturday with the Detroit Pistons, who have turned things around as of late, led by Dennis Rodman, who's certainly back to his all-star play, doing it off the board. Pistons and the Knicks on Saturday gets underway with Knicks game night at 7 p.m. The Detroit Pistons have won 4 in a row. Minute 40 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Hornets and the Knicks have 2 timeouts remaining. The game is tied at 94. Patrick Ewing with 5 personal fouls. Hit that jump shot a moment ago. That his first field goal of this fourth quarter. He has 28 points, and it may well come down to the feature matchup of Ewing and Mourning. Charles Smith, forced to the bench a moment ago, appeared to turn his ankle and was replaced by Anthony Mason. So the Knicks stay with Ewing, Oakley, and Mason up front. They have Starks and Rivers in the backcourt. Knicks have a full 24. A minute 40 remaining as Starks pops it out to Rivers. Game tied at 94. Hornets have lost the last 8 in a row to the Knicks. Knicks 9-0 here at Madison Square Garden.
Mourning muscling Ewing out a little further.
Ewing. And it's handled by Johnson. An opportunity now for the Charlotte Hornets with a minute and 15 remaining. The Knicks and the Hornets tied at 94. Johnson off the dribble against Mason. Mourning steps back. Do you believe that shot?
I don't believe it.
Air ball. Another bad shot by Alonzo Mourning. Game tied at 94. 50 seconds remaining. Mourning trying to front Ewing. 10 on the 24 through the hands of Ewing.
Too much on it from Starks. Also, the Knicks are not being creative, to say the least, in their offensive approach right now.
Knicks 94, Hornets 94. Down to 30 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson one-on-one with Mason. Handled by Mason. Another air ball thrown up. Johnson thought he was fouled. And the Knicks take a timeout with 21 and 5/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And the word on Charles Smith is sprained right ankle, and he will not return. We will after these words.
Okay. The game is tied at 94. 21.5 seconds left in this one, but the Knicks have possession. AT&T long-distance shooting tonight. Both teams unimpressive from long range, and they have not relied on three-point shots this evening.
Knicks are down to 1 timeout remaining. Hornets have 2 left. 21 and 5/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Rolando Blackman now being inserted by Pat Riley. And Pat is going with a combination of Blackman, Rivers, and Starks, along with Mason and Ewing.
Blackman in there for jump shooting. Mason, by the way, in the last 2 exchanges for Charlotte has been matched up with Larry Johnson and has come through big.
Well, the idea here is the Knicks want to use as much of the clock as they can, not allowing Charlotte an opportunity.
Meanwhile, on the road, Marv, out west, Charlotte has won 2 one-point games recently, Golden State and at Sacramento.
They have played well on the road, 5-5 on the road, 4-4 at home.
They didn't get their 5th road win last year until late February.
Knicks did come on with a rush in the fourth quarter, but have not scored over the last minute and 50 seconds. It's tied at 94. Rivers works the clock down to 10. Rivers, hand checked by Curry. Ewing sets the pick. Rivers for Starks, down to 5. Starks can't find the shot, fires, hits the back of the rim as the buzzer goes. Knicks could not get a good shot, and Starks had to pop it up, so we head to overtime. And for the Knicks, it will be their first overtime game of the season for Charlotte at the end of regulation. So the Knicks involved in their first overtime of the season, while Charlotte with a 117-110 overtime victory over Golden State back on November the 20th.
Well, the Knicks failed the test here. They had everything in their favor, plenty of time to get a good shot, and they don't. John Starks' inability to get a good shot up until the very last moment. He let a fling go, but the Knicks did not function as a unit out there. They seemed to be strangers in the closing seconds of the game. It didn't execute.
And the foul situation of importance here. Patrick Ewing with 5. Alonzo Mourning has 4, as does Kendall Gill.
It wasn't clear, Marv, actually what they were trying to do. None of the front line came forward, so there was no target for Starks to pass the ball to.
5-minute overtime session, and the Hornets control. Wingate is back in there, feeding Mourning. Kept alive by Mourning, and then had it knocked away. Here comes Starks, 3-on-2. Starks with the hesitation dribble. Oh, what a move by John Starks. That change of pace, he froze the defender and then was able to hit on the reverse.
It's taken John a long time to get going in this game, and Pat Riley has stuck with him.
He's not shot well, but he's been instrumental. Larry Johnson with 24 points, and the game is tied at 96. Starks is 4 of 15 for his 14 points, but he's been a factor again. Here's Ewing. Curry with the rebound. 1 minute gone by in overtime. Tied at 96.
This is the future matchup now. Mason and Larry Johnson with the ball. Chest bump by Mason, and that was a quick whistle. There's no question about it, though. He charged into Larry Johnson.
It was the bump, and also Mike Mathis indicating that he threw a knee out, too. Kenny Gaddison replacing David Wingate. Wingate leads with a field goal for 2. Blackman sits down. Oakley, Ewing, Mason up front. Starks and Rivers in the backcourt. Again, Johnson goes to work against Mason. Larry Johnson, this time to the turnaround. He has 26 points. He's 10 for 22. The Hornets 98, the Knicks 96.
There is nothing more Mason could have done unless he had the ability to jump 18 feet in the air and block that shot.
Minute and a half into the 5-minute overtime. Rivers Rare miss for Doc Rivers, who has been on target throughout the game.
Knicks are not offering any variety in their offense tonight. It's so predictable as they continue to look for Ewing and then seem to go for the jump shots.
Series of head fakes served up by Johnson. Here's Curry. The tip by Gaddison. And Kenny Gaddison has come off the bench and has hurt the Knicks. He has 11.
Meanwhile, it didn't appear that Rivers got news that there was a timeout about to happen. His teammates were all at the other end of the court, heading to the bench.
2:51 remaining in the overtime.
Well, the Knicks have taken great pride in their defense, their NBA leading defense this year, only allowing 91 points a game. Tonight, however, the Knicks are seeing an opponent that tops the 100 mark for the first time this season at Madison Square Garden. And it was Kenny Gaddison, not boxed out. Shot goes up. Gaddison, with no one in front of him, would say that was a very easy tip-in. Ball goes up and nobody looked for Kenny Gaddison.
2:51 remaining in overtime, and the Knicks are trailing the Hornets 100-96. It is Nick Ball following this timeout. The Nets have defeated the Los Angeles Clippers over at the Meadowlands 111-105. So for the moment, the Nets, who have really turned things around, are just one game behind the Atlantic Division leading New York Knicks. The Knicks stay the same following the timeout. Starks. He was stopped. And it will be Charlotte ball.
Talk about flat. The Knicks have scored 2 points in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
The Hornets by 4. 3 players collapsing on Starks. Starks trying to draw the foul on Curry, but Curry hits the 3. No call by Mike Mathis, and Curry converted from downtown. Hornets lead 103-96.
It appeared that he knocked Starks right down, preceding that jump shot, and now a layup by Curry.
It has gotten away from the Knicks. Hornets now lead 105-96.
Patrick Ewing with words for John Starks, trying to encourage him, followed him right to the bench.
Well, a very impressive performance here by the Charlotte Hornets. They've taken the play away from the Knicks here in the overtime, and an impressive guest list for Mike Francesa coming up following Knick basketball from the play-by-play here at Madison Square Garden. Bill Murray, head coach Bruce Coslett, Hall of Famer John Mackey, boxer Alex Stewart, comedian Bob Nelson, and Herb Perez.
He'll be there.
How did they get Herb? Well, the Knicks 9-0 here at the Garden coming into today. At the start of the 89-90 season, 12-0, 91-92, 11-0, and the 9-0 about to take a dent.
Remember last year, San Antonio, the day after Christmas, came in and broke the Knicks' bubble with a very fine performance.
And the foul is called a hold. It's on Curry. The Knicks have been outscored in overtime 11-2, 11 unanswered points for Charlotte. And they will go to 6-5 on the road if they hold on and pull out this overtime victory. Here's Starks. Hornets now lead 105-98. A minute and 56 remaining in overtime. Mason got a piece of it. And it will be Charlotte ball. Here's Muggsy Bogues checking back in, and a timeout has been called by the Hornets. Alan Bristow looking to talk things over. We'll be back in a moment. 54 remaining in overtime. The Hornets 105, the Knicks 98. It will be Charlotte ball in front court. Muggsy Bogues is back. He and Kendall Gill now at the guard. A steal by Starks. Well, this one is not over. The Knicks are within 5. Minute 50 to go in overtime. Pressure being applied by Mason. And Bogues able to beat it.
Well, that's no fun chasing Muggsy.
Down to 10 on the 24. And the foul given by Starks. Well, he may have, perhaps he thought they were over the limit, because all it does is give Charlotte a new 24. Unless he didn't like the matchups out there, but the shot clock was rolling down, and now they have more time to play with. Johnson backing his way in. Starks over to help out, and the call is last touch by the Knicks. Starks appealing to the outside official, Mike Mathis, who said no. Last touch by New York. 9 on the 24. Minute 17 remaining in this overtime. Hornets with the ball, 5-point lead, and on the inbound, holding foul on Starks, so that's a 2-shot affair.
Boy, it seemed like a tight call. John Starks had pleaded with Mike Mathis on the prior call. Starks fighting over the pick is called for the foul. Tough to see it.
In the last 2 minutes, it serves as a technical foul, although it's not officially a technical foul, plus possession in an effort to ward off these type of calls. Normally, an away from the ball foul on an inbounds in that type of situation would be 2 shots.
The ball had not been inbounded, and the foul was called before the ball was inbounded, and that's what made it that situation.
Hornets lead by 6 with another possession. Minute 10 remaining in overtime. Mason applying the hand check. Johnson running the clock down. Shot clock at 5. Johnson was looking for help from the bench. Johnson. And the Knicks are on the ball. 50 seconds to go. They're down by 6. And Starks fouled by Gill.
Starks with a stare after that foul, because he's denied the 3-point shot, which is, you know, what he wanted as he headed for the corner.
But it's a non-shooting foul, and the Knicks will inbound. Now Bogues will sit down. Mourning is up front with Wingate and Johnson. Curry and Gill at the guards. 45 seconds remaining. Hornets by 6. Knicks looking for a 3. They can't find a 3. They take the 2, but good defense by the Hornets, and they come up with another steal.
The quickness of Kendall Gill to that ball.
31 seconds remaining in overtime. Starks called for the foul, and the Hornets now feel safe to celebrate. They were holding it within. What an impressive performance by the Charlotte Hornets. There's Kendall Gill with a little chatter for Spike Lee at courtside.
Little audition for Kendall. Yes. When he went for that loose ball, Marv, he flew to that ball that was on the floor, captured it, and got it to his teammate. Boy, was that impressive.
Alan Bristow, Charlotte Hornets will go to 10-9, bouncing back from the loss at home last night to the Phoenix Suns. Knicks take a timeout. 31 seconds to go. The Hornets lead 108-100. We'll be right back. 13 steals for the Charlotte Hornets, who are on their way to an overtime victory over the New York Knicks. Coming up live from the play-by-play club here at Madison Square Garden, Mike Francesa hosting. And the guest list includes Bill Murray, Jet head coach Bruce Coslett, Football Hall of Famer Sean Mackey, boxer Alex Stewart. 31 seconds remaining in overtime. There's Charles Smith, who was forced out closing minutes of regulation due to a sprained right ankle.
Sadly, because the Knicks really missed him. That's clear. That's so obvious.
Well, that long win streak for the Knicks against Charlotte about to come to an end. Knicks with 8 straight wins against the Hornets. Here's Starks with a three-pointer. 108-103. 5-point Hornet lead. 28 seconds to go. And Starks knocked it off Gill out of bounds. This one is not quite over. 27, 9-10 seconds remaining in overtime. Starks, he thought he was hit.
Blocked by Mourning.
Mourning with the rejection. 23 seconds remaining. 5-point Hornet lead. And Charlotte in no hurry now that they're in the front court.
A good shooter handling the ball, Del Curry.
Oh, and an emphatic hack picked up by Starks. So Starks is fouled out, leaves with 21 points. We're down to 11 seconds remaining in overtime as Del Curry heads to the line.
John Starks very unhappy, I would think, with his play tonight. Patrick Ewing moments ago in the last time out went over to him and spent a lot of time with him, working on him, patting him on the back.
Curry, one of the better free throw shooters in the NBA, 95% for the season. Missed a couple here tonight, 7 of 9 now. Hornets lead 110-103. This overtime session is winding down. 5 seconds remaining. Here's Ewing. So that will wrap it. The Charlotte Hornets coming up with a stunner at Madison Square Garden. They have defeated the New York Knicks 110-103 for the Knicks, their first home defeat. They were 9-0 here at the Garden. And the last victory for Charlotte against the Knicks was March the 23rd, 1990 in Charlotte. Knicks had won 8 straight against the Hornets. So the Knicks are now 11-7, and with the Nets defeating the Clippers earlier this evening, the Knicks are now only a half game in front of the second place New Jersey Nets. We'll be back to recap in just a moment.